Bienvenidos una vez más a este su programa Plus TV, su programa turístico de la zona norte, siempre llevando a todos ustedes todo lo referente al ámbito turístico nacional e internacional. Hoy tendremos una entrevista muy interesante y no se muevan de ahí, señores, porque nosotros vamos a tener aquí que hacer un Span English con esta invitada. Pero antes de abundar sobre ella, quiero resaltar la noticia del Ministerio de Turismo, que nuevamente rompió récords. Nuevamente, el ministro de Turismo, David Collado, acaba de anunciar que julio ha rompido récords. Así que de verdad quiero felicitar el trabajo que está haciendo el Ministerio de Turismo, el trabajo que está haciendo el ministro David Collado, una persona que ha interactuado con los turoperadores, que viaja a otros países a tratar de vender a República Dominicana, y todo este trabajo que el ministro viene realizando se ha dado a notar con estos números que mes tras mes él mismo da a conocer. Y nuevamente, como dije anteriormente, julio, récord, señores, récords en visitas de turistas extranjeros, no de dominicanos, de turistas extranjeros, y sin contar los que tenemos aquí a través de los cruceros. Así que nuevamente felicidades al ministro David Collado. Nosotros desde aquí, que tenemos un programa meramente turístico, les damos un espaldarazo e impulsamos todo ese trabajo que él viene realizando. Bueno, pues sin más que agregar, vamos a pasar a esta entrevista, la cual será contarles a ustedes la experiencia de un extranjero en República Dominicana. ¿Por qué los extranjeros deciden venir a la zona norte del país y deciden formar su hogar aquí? ¿Por qué deciden comprar y, además de comprar, promocionar el destino para que otras personas también vengan y formen su hogar aquí en la República Dominicana, específicamente en la zona norte del país? Esto está interesantísimo, así que vamos a ver. Muchas personas deciden ir a vivir a otros países para hacer crecer su economía, pero con la finalidad de luego regresar e invertir en su país de origen. Hoy en Dreaming DR vamos a presentar a todos ustedes los beneficios de venir a retirarse, o más bien a jubilarse, aquí en República Dominicana. El gobierno dominicano ofrece incentivos especiales para inversionistas que desean jubilarse en República Dominicana. De los beneficios de la ley que exonera del pago de impuestos a los ajuares del hogar y bienes personales a los extranjeros que vengan a residir definitivamente en la República Dominicana, podemos citar algunos. Posibilidad de obtener rápidamente la residencia a través del proceso denominado residencia debido a inversión. Excepción de impuestos sobre el mobiliario y la propiedad personal. 50% de excepción de impuestos sobre hipotecas cuando los acreedores son instituciones financieras debidamente reguladas por la ley monetaria y financiera. Intereses, ingresos y dividendos de las inversiones inmobiliarias realizadas en el país cuyo capital se ha generado en el exterior. Estos son solo algunos de los beneficios que usted podrá obtener al decidir invertir y jubilarse en República Dominicana. Para más información, en dreamingdr.com tenemos la respuesta.
Donde te espera un gran sol, en la playa, en la montaña, belletas y tradición. Dale pa' los rincones. Donde te espera un gran sol, un mofongo, pescado frito y todo nuestro sabor. Que Quisqueya es la más bella, de orgullo voy a gritar. Aquí todo lo tenemos, salgamos a disfrutar. Hermosos ríos y valles que te abrazan con su encanto, y en sus trillos se oye el canto que a descubrirlo te llama. Dale pa' los rincones. Hay que bella nuestra tierra. Dale pa' los rincones. Su sabor y su palmera.
Lleva lo mejor de ti y te llevarás lo mejor de tu país. República Dominicana. Turismo en cada rincón.
Tenemos que replantar y proteger nuestros bosques, limpiar nuestros ríos y mares y hacer más verdes nuestras ciudades. Con ello, no solo se protegerán los recursos del planeta, sino que también se crearán millones de empleos de aquí al 2030. Se generarán unos ingresos anuales de más de 7 billones de dólares y se contribuirá a eliminar la pobreza y el hambre. Siembra, limpia, recicla, protege el medio ambiente y preserva tu ecosistema. Un mensaje de La Joya Collection.
Enjoy your beauty and your magnificence. I am extraordinarily beautiful. I am beautiful.
Hola, soy Mabel Andreini y quiero decirte que comprar la casa de tus sueños nunca ha sido tan fácil y seguro como aquí en Dreaming DR. Hoy vamos a presentar a todos ustedes las mejores alternativas en la costa norte de República Dominicana. Así que veamos la propuesta que tenemos para este día.
When making an investment, don't think it twice with Kofresi Hills, where you can have stunning ocean and mountain views at such a great price. Contact us at Realtor DR and we'll show you how you can invest on real estate.
Nos emociona igual que a ti acompañarte a diseñar tu espacio con nuevos elementos para nuevas ideas. Ofrecemos asesoría personalizada en diseño de interiores, ejecución y elaboración de proyectos. Contamos con una amplia variedad de finos materiales como troquelados, pisos PVC, papel tapiz que harán de tu espacio un ambiente ideal. En términos de acabados, estilo y creatividad, somos tus mejores aliados. Ecology by J. Cabrera. Nuevos elementos para nuevas ideas.
La degradación del mundo natural ya está socavando el bienestar de 3.200 millones de personas, o lo que es lo mismo, el 40% de la humanidad. Por suerte, el planeta es resiliente, pero necesita nuestra ayuda. Todavía estamos a tiempo de revertir los daños que hemos causado. Siembra, limpia, recicla, protege el medio ambiente y preserva tu ecosistema. Un mensaje de La Joya Collection.
Bueno, señores, bienvenidos nuevamente aquí a su programa Plus TV. Hoy, como les comentaba anteriormente, tendremos una interesantísima entrevista con una gran mujer, de la cual sé que todos sacaremos algo positivo. Estoy segura que ustedes han notado a través de nuestros programas el logo de Dreaming DR y me han escuchado a mí mencionar mucho esta compañía. Hoy conoceremos la cara detrás de ella y trataremos de que sea en inglés y español o vamos a hacer subtítulos. Welcome, Christine, to Plus TV.
Oh, Mabel, that was beautiful. Thank you. It's so wonderful always to spend time with you. You know how much I love you and how much I love the work you do here on the North Coast.
Welcome. You know, so many people ask me, what is Dreaming DR? Of course, we talk about real estate and stuff, but also we talk about lifestyle, you know?
Well, and that's one of the reasons Dreaming DR received its name, because the word dream, a lot of people have dreams when they come here. And one of the good things with us is we want to really help people to make those dreams come true.
That's true. Every time I talk about you, it's what I say. You don't try to sell.
No.
You try to people find a home a house here?
Well, quality of life is really the key. Most people who want to come here, especially from the United States or Canada, they're looking for something different, a better way, maybe something that they thought was missing or a new adventure. So what we want to do is really help to embellish that. And quality of life for everyone is unique and different. Everyone's little piece of paradise is different. And so what I try to do when I spend time with people and I receive information from new clients or people just asking questions is find out what is their paradise, what is it they're looking for. And it's really different, and the beauty is this island is so big and the people are so fabulous and there's so many different demographics and dynamics.
This is important, I have to say, because you know, we are in the Caribbean, of course, so
yes.
Everyone thinks like you have to sell just beach and sun. You know, it's not that anymore.
Well, here on this island, what a lot of people don't know is we have very tall mountains. I mean, look at Pico Duarte. I mean, I think there was, at one point this year, they had snow or hail on Pico Duarte. I was really surprised to see that. You also have, in the interior, have the gigantic lake, where they have flamingos, crocodiles. And then, of course, you have...
You know a lot about Dominican Republic. But let's go back, because I'm sure people want to know who is Christine Maclean. So let's start from there, and then we keep talking about Dominican Republic and real estate.
Well, I have a unique story because my version of paradise included at the time my 12-year-old daughter. And she was in a private school in Ottawa, and she did very well. And she's gifted. She's a very bright little girl, and she was the apple of our eye. And so one of the things that we could see changing is the education system didn't fit the way we had hoped. And so she had always been in a private system. And we loved how Madison was, you know, growing as a person, her education, and not only that, her intellect, her friends base. And unfortunately, she would have to change schools to a school that was quite a bit further. And so, you know, I started looking around and thinking, wouldn't it be great? At the time, you know, as you get older, I had a bad skiing accident, and unfortunately my knees were not so happy in the winter. So the winter was becoming more and more challenging for me, and so I kind of put two and two together. I'm a business person, always have been. I've been involved in real estate, accounting, taxes, and so I started looking all over.
Yeah.
20 countries. I made lists, and one of the critical things for me, of course, had to be my princess. And so education was very important. And so you're not going to believe it, but we found the international school here. And one of the nice things about the international school when I started sourcing out schools, now don't get me wrong, I had information from many schools all over the world, in Brazil, Spain, Mexico, Costa Rica. I mean, I was checking everywhere. But one of the nice things that I found here is there was American accreditation. They focused on excellence, but you didn't have to be the best. You just had to be the best you could be. And that was really something that hit home with me. Number two is the new director that was coming in. It was from Vancouver, Canada. Okay. And he was very familiar with children that had intellectual bonuses, if you will. Okay. And also they were putting in a advanced programming. Well, that's where your daughter goes, and she loves it too, I'm sure. And so, you know, all of those things combined, when we came here and visited, we toured the school, we looked in the area, and it really ticked a lot of the boxes for me. Another big thing, and my parents own property in Florida, and every time hurricane season comes, it's a stress for them. You know, they're always worried. And here, when I started to source out things like hurricane season, it came very quickly to my attention that we have the protection of the reef and the mountains. Yeah. So that ticked two very, very, very critical things for me. And the third one is I didn't need to know Spanish. Now, I've since learned, yo hablo español más o menos 50% o 60%, más o menos. Sí. Pero muy importante es no necesito. Es posible para comunicación para toda persona in English, and we work it out.
But Christine, something important you said that people will not believe, even me, is that you choose Dominican Republic because of education. This is really important. That Sosua have the international school.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, it's free promo, but anyways. anyways, it's good to people know that international education here is
it's very important.
It's something that people think before they buy, you know?
Exactly. And, you know, just in the last couple of years, post-pandemic, we have so many new families. We're kind of getting off topic a little bit, but it really is important, the aspect of education and quality of life.
So in the end, when you come to Susua for education...
You know, my daughter, she had a fabulous life.
Okay,
she fit in well.
In the end, you like here, so you stay. How long you been here already?
It's coming into 8 years, the end of this year. I know.
Years.
8 great years!
So you will stay living here?
Oh, I really love it. I love the people. I love the weather. How can you not?
Exactly.
I mean, you have 325 days of sunshine a year.
Yeah.
I mean, when you have a full hour of rain, it's a stressful event, you know, but the most important here is the quality of life. You can do anything you want. Anything. You can go to the beach, you can go riding bike, you can go riding horses, which you know I do often. You can go kiting, surfing. You're outside all the time. And I think for people like myself, I'm high energy, I like to have fun. You can see that the sun is not my friend, but I do take the precaution. But what is important is when you love outside, you love nature, you love the trees, you know, you love great food. I mean, the food here.
Yeah.
The first year, I have avocados.
You like rice and beans and chicken?
Chicken. But this is my first year. I have avocados grown in my garden. 6 years I waited and was waiting and waiting. I have mangoes, I have guava, I have bananas.
In your garden?
In my garden.
That's
Yeah, I have papaya. I have aloe vera for my skin, for my horses.
Nice.
I grow mint. I have oregano. And, you know, there's so many little things.
We have it all.
Well, I think it's important, Mabel, when people come here to understand that it's not just the beach.
Exactly.
And it's not just mojitos, although they're a food group now. But it's about, you know, getting out and reconnecting with friends. You know, you don't have the same pressures. I mean, in Susua, it's such a small community, and Puerto Plata and Cabarete, I mean, when it's traffic, everyone's like, ah, there's traffic. But I mean, where we come from, like my daughter, I used to drive her 1 hour in the morning to school, and 1 hour.
You're going 5 minutes.
I know. But everything is 5 minutes.
Yeah,
that's the beauty.
Yeah.
Everything is 5 minutes. The grocery store, the bank, you know.
That's true.
Anything. Go out for dinner. You know, you forget something.
So many people tell me, why you don't move to Santo Domingo? You know?
Yeah.
And when I go to Santo Domingo and I'm there in the traffic, I say, no, I will not move.
I know.
You know?
But the traffic, let's talk about that. One of the things, I think the hardest thing to get used to here, and I think a lot of people from North America particularly will agree, it's the Dominican time. Everything is mañana, mañana, mañana. And you know, I never fully understood what that meant. It just means not today. And once you get past that and you realize that it's not at our speed, people here,
Dominicans were relaxed.
you're relaxed, you're you know, muy tranquilo, tranquilo, Christine, muy tranquilo. And I think it's okay because, you know, it's hot, and I get it. Yeah, I get it. But you know,
well, I'm not like that.
one of the cool things, though, I do love here is when you spend time with people, you know, and all the little things that you forgot about. You know, the little things like you actually sit and spend time. Now, the unfortunate part is, you know, we're all really connected to our damn phone. I hate that part.
Yeah, that's true.
You know,
but it's all over the world.
It's all over the world. But the good thing is with the kids, we do need it for communication. I know when my daughter was out.
Yeah. Let's give some time for the advertising, and we'll talk about that when we come back.
Okay.
Muchas personas deciden ir a vivir a otros países para hacer crecer su economía, pero con la finalidad de luego regresar e invertir en su país de origen. Hoy en Dreaming DR vamos a presentar a todos ustedes los beneficios de venir a retirarse o más bien a jubilarse aquí en República Dominicana. El gobierno dominicano ofrece incentivos especiales para inversionistas que desean jubilarse en República Dominicana. De los beneficios de la ley que exonera del pago de impuestos a los ajuares del hogar y bienes personales a los extranjeros que vengan a residir definitivamente en la República Dominicana, podemos citar algunos. Posibilidad de obtener rápidamente la residencia a través del proceso denominado residencia debido a inversión. Excepción de impuestos sobre el mobiliario y la propiedad personal. 50% de excepción de impuestos sobre hipotecas cuando los acreedores son instituciones financieras debidamente reguladas por la ley monetaria y financiera. Intereses, ingresos y dividendos de las inversiones inmobiliarias realizadas en el país cuyo capital se ha generado en el exterior. Estos son solo algunos de los beneficios que usted podrá obtener al decidir invertir y jubilarse en República Dominicana. Para más información, en dreamindial.com tenemos la respuesta.
Donde te espera un gran sol, en la playa, en la montaña, belletas y tradición. Dale a los rincones. Donde te espera un gran sol, un mofongo, pescado frito y todo nuestro sabor. Que Quisqueya es la más bella, de orgullo voy a gritar. Aquí todo lo tenemos, salgamos a disfrutar. Hermosos ríos y valles que te abrazan con su encanto. Y en sus trillos se oye el canto, que a descubrirlo te llama. Dale a los rincones. Hay que bella nuestra tierra. Dale pa' los rincones. Su sabor y su palmera.
Lleva lo mejor de ti y te llevarás lo mejor de tu país. República Dominicana. Turismo en cada rincón.
Tenemos que replantar y proteger nuestros bosques, limpiar nuestros ríos y mares y hacer más verdes nuestras ciudades. Con ello, no solo se protegerán los recursos del planeta, sino que también se crearán millones de empleos de aquí al 2030. Se generarán unos ingresos anuales de más de $7 billones y se contribuirá a eliminar la pobreza y el hambre. Siembra, limpia, recicla, protege el medio ambiente y preserva tu ecosistema. Un mensaje de La Joya Collection.
Enjoy your beauty and your magnificence. I am extraordinarily beautiful. I am beautiful.
Hola, soy Mabel Andreini y quiero decirte que comprar la casa de tus sueños nunca ha sido tan fácil y seguro como aquí en Dreaming DR. Hoy vamos a presentar a todos ustedes las mejores alternativas en la costa norte de República Dominicana. Así que veamos la propuesta que tenemos para este día.
When making an investment, don't think it twice with Coffee Hills, where you can have stunning ocean and mountain views at such a great price. Contact us at Realtor DR and we'll show you how you can invest on real estate.
Nos emociona igual que a ti acompañarte a diseñar tu espacio con nuevos elementos para nuevas ideas. Ofrecemos asesoría personalizada en diseño de interiores, ejecución y elaboración de proyectos. Contamos con una amplia variedad de finos materiales como troquelados, pisos PVC, papel tapiz que harán de tu espacio un ambiente ideal. En términos de acabados, estilo y creatividad, somos tus mejores aliados. The Ecology by J. Cabrera. Nuevos elementos para nuevas ideas.
La degradación del mundo natural ya está socavando el bienestar de 3.200 millones de personas, o lo que es lo mismo, el 40% de la humanidad. Por suerte, el planeta es resiliente, pero necesita nuestra ayuda. Todavía estamos a tiempo de revertir los daños que hemos causado. Siembra, limpia, recicla, protege el medio ambiente y preserva tu ecosistema. Un mensaje de la Joya Collection.
Entonces estamos aquí de regreso con Christine Maclean, señores. La historia de una canadiense que decidió mudarse a República Dominicana, y algo que comentamos en el primer corte, muy importante, es que una de las razones principales por las cuales ella eligió República Dominicana fue porque encontró en Sosúa la escuela internacional, avalada internacionalmente para estudiar donde su hija quisiera luego de graduarse. Y eso es muy importante, que nosotros en esta comunidad tengamos eso, y que los turistas que deciden mudarse de su país, encontrar otro hogar, señores, tomen esto como referencia para comprar, ¿verdad que sí? Entonces vamos a continuar aquí con Christine en nuestro inglés. Trataremos de subtitular, señores. Rico está aprendiendo hoy aquí con nosotras. Ya ustedes saben.
Yo todo entiendo, todo palabra para tuyo. Incredible. It's, you know, it comes down to confidence.
Yeah.
And learning Spanish, I've been doing Spanish lessons, Duolingo, and so I'm always in a big hurry to get where I need to go.
Yeah.
So I practice a lot of conversational Spanish. So when I hear things, I know what people are saying, but it's the confidence now to speak back. I wanted to go back, we were just talking about the school.
About the children.
Yes.
That, you know, in this time everyone is online on tablet or cell phone.
It is.
So here in the North Coast they have the opportunity to do surf, to go horseback, to do a lot of activities. So it's important for the children too.
And I think, you know, post-pandemic, a lot of parents have realized how important it is for children to be able to play outside.
Exactly.
You know, I grew up playing outside. You know, my mother used to constantly say, you have to be home before the street lights come on. And so we were out all day, and, you know, we never thought about the television. I grew up without television. To tell you the truth, the first 4 years I lived here, all my TVs were still in the box. Okay, my grandchildren came to visit a couple of times. They're like, Nana, what's wrong with your TVs? It's like, you know, I just never hooked them up. And so we don't, you know, that's not part of my life. That's never was.
And the first reason for depression, sorry that I interrupt, is that when you are always online, just in your room, by yourself, you know? Yeah,
it's isolation. And the good thing here, a lot of children have activities outside. Now, because the weather is obviously fabulous year-round, that's very helpful.
Yeah.
And, of course, for younger children, too, you know, shorts and flip-flops, that's about it, you know, sunscreen and a hat.
Yes,
you know, it's not like bundling up for winter and bundling up babies.
You don't even have to worry about fashion, you know?
I think that's a good thing, too, for the children here, because all of the kids do uniforms. So I wanted to just talk a little bit about the children, and one of the cool things that I've had the pleasure, you know, I'm chatty, you can tell that, I'm like you. I like to smile and have the little ones smile back. But one of the cool things here, especially post-pandemic, is when you speak with children that come here from other countries and you ask them, you know, what is the favorite thing you love about here? You know, they're always going to say the beach. That's normal because they're outside having fun. But one of the things that really struck me is I have fun with my friends. I get to go outside. We get to play. We get to have fun. And I think that's a lot. That says a lot.
Yeah.
You know, it says a lot about our community. You know, it says a lot about the people here. We're much more relaxed. People get together. We're out all the time. Going out is a constant thing. Every day we go out. You know, and we don't have that rat race of that organized chaos. Now, don't get me wrong. Parents here are still very busy. You know, with Daphne, for example, you're running here, and running her there. I know with Madison, too. But one of the things, you know, it's easy just to go and play.
Christine, what I saw after pandemic, it was, you know, Canada is really important market for us, the Dominican Republic.
Yeah.
And what I saw on your business, on Dreaming DR, it was like a lot of Canadian people decided to move to the North Coast.
That's right. And so if you look at what was happening pre-pandemic and now, pre-pandemic our focus was of course on people my age who are looking to retire or semi-retire or come and find something just different. And you know, that was a big bulk of our clientele. But now it's new families coming here. They sold their property or their businesses in Canada. They've taken their gains, they've moved their families here, and they just reestablished that family unit. And I'll give an example. There's a street in Casalinda, one of the projects. I sold 5 villas on that same street to 5 people who lived on the same street in Canada.
That's so nice.
Yeah, so, you know, a lot of families, they kind of regroup themselves and realize that, you know, maybe what was happening just wasn't what they really wanted. And so maybe they'll stay here for the balance of their days, maybe they won't, I don't know. But what they did do is they found something different, and all of them are really having a nice time. They really, really are. And so I wanted to get back to the school aspect. There's other schools now that have popped up since I first moved here. We have Isla Academy, we have many garden kids, we have many private tutors, because children are so conditioned now with doing homeschooling or online schooling that you know, it's become just a way of life. But the best part is the parents have the time, you know, because they make the time. And it's nice because they can do their studies in the morning and then the kids are off, you know, and it's really, it's something that I don't think a lot of people thought they could do.
Yeah.
You know, but when they were kind of pushed against the wall, or some families just maybe didn't agree with some of the pandemic restrictions, it really made people think outside the box. How can I make this work?
Christine, so let's talk about Dream in DR.
Sure, okay. Well, Dream in DR was designed as a real estate company, and we sell property, of course. We have a separate division that does property management and rentals, but I'm not involved in that, but we do offer that service. But most importantly, what we try to do is educate people on quality of life. I'm going to call it life in a box. You know, you'll go to these big sessions in Canada or United States and you'll look to buy a franchise. People will go and buy a business in a box. But what we try to do is put together life in a box, where we want to help people who are thinking to make a change in their life to the Dominican Republic, to be able to have an accountant and a lawyer and a dentist and a doctor and find out where do they do their banking, how do I pay my bills. So it's not just about buying property. It's about that whole kind of change you have to make.
And I hear something, and I want to tell me the truth.
Yeah.
I hear that you are the one who sells the most in the North Coast.
Well, you know, there's rumors and there's good gossip.
You have the crown.
I have the hat. Well, you know, one of the things with me is I really try to help a lot of people, and I work very...
Everyone knows Christine.
Yeah. I work very closely with other agents and other companies, you know, and if they need a hand, or if I have a property or they have a property, I have no problem working together. You know, I think working in a team environment and having lots of people working with you is fun. I make going to work fun. And you know, I love helping, and I've been in this game for a long time, and so what's really important is I understand the laws here. I studied them vigorously. I studied law in Canada. I'm an accountant. I was involved in real estate investments. And so when you bring that old way of thinking with you to a new place, you adopt that thought pattern. So when you're familiar with finance and budgets and all of those things, it comes naturally to me. And one of the nice things, what I worked really hard to do here is to find a team. You know, lawyers, for example, accountants, insurance, just like down the hallway here. You know, those are really important aspects, because you don't always think about that, but that's a true compliment to when people are kind of changing their whole life, like even all the way to transporting their goods.
And the good thing is you have the knowledge.
Yes.
So you have the basis. So if you met a lawyer here, you know if they are cheating or not with you, you know. Because some people come to the Dominican Republic, then they found like lawyers who cheat. And in the end, they feel like a victim, you know. But it's not. You have to be smart enough to ask other people who is who, and to find people who can help you, you know.
And you know, it's a funny thing, like people, they gossip and they embellish and people talk and talk and talk. And what drives me crazy are those Facebook groups. Oh, but you know, I'm an administrator on probably 250 of them, so I guess they don't really drive me crazy. But my point is, and the reason I say they drive me crazy is, you'll get people who go on there and they share one little bit of information, but they embellish it. And they take the truth and then they extend it, because that's what people like. People like the bad stuff.
Yeah.
They don't want to tell you the good stuff.
Yeah.
It's very rare. And so a lot of people, they go on those sites and they see and hear things and they read things where maybe this much is the truth, but this much is not.
Yeah.
You know, and that's really a shame, because when I meet people who come here and they go home empty-handed or their dream is squished, I feel really bad, because they just didn't have the right team. They didn't have the right people looking. You know, I'll give an example. I met this wonderful couple after they had already bought from another agent in a project, which was a lovely home, you know, but the problem was they speak English and nobody else in the project spoke English.
Oh my God.
So the problem was she's very chatty and she was extremely unhappy, because she thought she was going to go for tea and coffee and yoga and do walks and all these things. That was her vision of paradise. She just went into the wrong location.
Yeah, that's why you have to know your client.
You
first.
do. You need to understand. So,
You know, you're here today not because you have a company, a real estate company. You're here today because you are, for me, you are a role model.
Oh,
because
thank
you are
you.
a woman, a strong woman who
Thank
always
you.
working around. You help a lot of people to find a home here. And also because you don't try to sell. I always say that. Of course you want to sell because you have your company and you live from that. But you first think of the person and then you think about selling.
well, and I'll give an example. I went through this morning and I had taken an offer on Friday of a couple in Canada, and sight unseen. This beautiful little house in Casalinda, and a cute place. I know it well. I helped design it. I was involved in the build. I've known the owner since it was built, 6 years. Property manager. I mean, I send lots of clients there for rental. But of course, over the weekend, the client, you know, they start thinking and second guessing. And oh my gosh, I just sent, how much money did I send the Dominican Republic? I'm going to buy a $250,000 villa online and I didn't even see the place yet. So now, today, they're going through those emotions, right? But, you know, the best thing to say to them is this: don't worry, I'll give you your money back. I don't have a problem, because a happy client is way more important.
Of course.
It's way more important than any amount of money. And that money is sitting in that escrow account of the lawyer, and you know what? If you want it back, you take it back. But my suggestion would be, come, visit, stay in the property. See the property, touch it, feel it, come. And guess what? They're going to come in 2 weeks. And you know what? I know they're going to be just as happy as they were on Friday. And so these negative thoughts they had today, and sometimes that happens, sometimes. But most important is for clients to understand that when you come here, what we're trying to do is just exactly what you want. We want a good outcome for you. We want you to be happy and find your piece of paradise.
Christine, what you can say to those people who are thinking to buy something here and they are like, I don't know, I'm not sure.
Well, Mabel, I really wanted to talk a little bit about the North Coast in general. I'm going to make it fast, but I think it's very relevant. You know, pre-pandemic, nobody knew what was going on.
Yeah.
You know, of course, pre, we all knew what was going on. The market was starting to pick up and things were going great. And then, of course, we had the pandemic and everything was shut and everyone was worried and what's happening and. Now, post-pandemic, and this is where there's a huge change. And I really think people need to be aware of that. One of the things that the post-pandemic has done for the North Coast is our infrastructure investments, they came through. That's really important, because now traveling from Santiago and Santo Domingo is safer, faster, and we have a lot of people doing it.
Yeah.
Where before, those same people were traveling to Miami, New York, New Jersey. Now, sorry for those cities, but guess what? We get the benefit, right? And so I think it's really important for people to understand that the North Coast is the place to be right now. You have amazing investment by our government. You have a lot of people who are coming from Santo Domingo, Santiago, who are investing money here. And so before, when I would go to the beach or go out on a weekend, I would see 50-50. 50% expats, 50% Dominicans. Now it's 80-20. And that's great for us because a lot of people have rekindled their relationship with the North Coast. Another thing that's fabulous for us here is a lot of Dominicans in primarily North America are rekindling their relationships by semi-retiring or retiring back here. And they're bringing their families back. And they're reigniting their family union here because Dominicans, I don't need to say, we're all your family people, which is great. And so that's really improved the North Coast immensely. It's brought a lot of wealth to the coast. And the price points are going up, and it's made it fabulous for the investor. And so that's something that is really new to us. Now, add in there these young families that are coming to live here, and you have a really nice explosion of growth. You have an explosion of young families. So it's kind of cool because you see all these food truck parks popping up with these play areas for the kids, and you see music venues now everywhere.
We have a lot of things for everyone. You know?
Yes, we do. We do. And so, you know, coming back to, you know, why people want to come here. They're looking for something different, something new, something fun. You already have it. You don't know what you have.
And what you like the most is Dominicans, right?
You know what? I'm going to tell you. Dominicans are kind, smiley, cheery people. When I look in the eyes of Dominicans, I see smiles, I see laughter, I see fun. You know, and it doesn't matter where you go. You can go in the campo, which is up in the mountains, or outside of the beaten path. I've been all over. You know me. I drive a big white Hummer, and I have a 4-up. I just go. And the good thing is, you know, you meet cool people, you meet different people. People are so kind. They want to help. Where are you going? Where, you know, you ask, and I use hand signals in my broken Spanish. And, you know, a lot of people will ask me, Christine, what's security like? It's like, it's the same as it is anywhere. You don't go to bad areas because guess what? They're bad.
That's true.
You know, so how do you know it's a bad area? Usually you can tell. You know,
Yeah,
here,
that's true.
you know, people are kind.
Any place you to travel is the same.
It's the same. You have to be smart. You have to let people know where you're going. But the good thing is, you know, people here, they care. Like a couple of times, Mabel, this is true. I was biking up to Monkey Jungle. I blew a flat tire. Yeah, it got dark.
People stop to help you.
Not only that, the guard who saw me going one way up didn't see me coming back. He sent someone up to find me.
Wow.
Yeah.
See?
And so, you know, when you have little things like that happen to you unexpected, you're like, wow.
You fall in love and fall in love.
You do. Like, you know, that man, he took his moto and he traveled behind me on my bicycle because I didn't have a light and I had 2 flat tires. I was really aggressive that day. But, you know, these are the little things that really touch you and you say, wow, you know, that's so amazing. And so it kind of re-sparks your whole love of people and why you want to come and have a better life and why people just want to find that little piece of paradise that really improves their life.
Yeah. Para aquellos que no hablan inglés, señores, una de las partecitas más importantes que hemos mencionado en esta entrevista es que la primera cosa de la que se enamoran los extranjeros es de los dominicanos, de la forma de ser de nosotros los dominicanos, la amabilidad, la cercanía, la sonrisa. Esas son las cosas principales por las que los extranjeros deciden venir y muchas veces quedarse y formar su hogar aquí. Así que, Christine, thank you for your time.
Thank you, sweetheart.
I
It's
hope
always
you
wonderful.
come again
Of
one
course,
day.
of course.
It's a lot of things we can talk
Oh,
here, you
my
know,
gosh.
because you have the experience, you have your own experience, and you have the other people that work with you.
I'm blessed.
You know,
Very lucky.
and
Very
your
lucky.
clients too.
Yes.
And-
Another time.
And your horses too. You're in love with the horses. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mabel.
She's Christine Maclean.
Thank you, yeah.
The face behind Dreaming DR.
Dreaming DR.
So you can go dreamingdr.com and see everything she have there to say and everything. But you also can follow her on Facebook. And
Instagram.
know her as a person. You will see a lot of horses. But yeah, it's her Facebook. Thank you, Christine.
Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you.
So we continue with the show.
Dale pa' los rincones, donde te espera un gran sol, en la playa, en la montaña, belletas y tradición. Dale pa' los rincones, donde te espera un gran sol, un mofongo, pescado frito y todo nuestro sabor. Que Quisqueya es la más bella, de orgullo voy a gritar. Aquí todo lo tenemos, salgamos a disfrutar. Hermosos ríos y valles que te abrazan con su encanto, y en sus trillos se oye el canto, que a descubrirlo te llama. Dale pa' los rincones, ay que bella es nuestra tierra. Dale pa' los rincones, su sabor y su palmera.
Lleva lo mejor de ti y te llevarás lo mejor de tu país. República Dominicana, turismo en cada rincón.
Tenemos que replantar y proteger nuestros bosques, limpiar nuestros ríos y mares y hacer más verdes nuestras ciudades. Con ello, no solo se protegerán los recursos del planeta, sino que también se crearán millones de empleos de aquí al 2030. Se generarán unos ingresos anuales de más de $7 billones y se contribuirá a eliminar la pobreza y el hambre. Siembra, limpia, recicla, protege el medio ambiente y preserva tu ecosistema. Un mensaje de La Joya Collection.
Enjoy your beauty and your magnificence. I am extraordinarily beautiful. I am beautiful.
Hola, soy Mabel Andreini y quiero decirte que comprar la casa de tus sueños nunca ha sido tan fácil y seguro como aquí en Dreaming DR. Hoy vamos a presentar a todos ustedes las mejores alternativas en la costa norte de República Dominicana. Así que veamos la propuesta que tenemos para este día.
When making an investment, don't think it twice with Kofesi Hills, where you can have stunning ocean and mountain views at such a great price. Contact us at Realtor DR and we'll show you how you can invest on real estate.
Nos emociona igual que a ti acompañarte a diseñar tu espacio con nuevos elementos para nuevas ideas. Ofrecemos asesoría personalizada en diseño de interiores, ejecución y elaboración de proyectos. Contamos con una amplia variedad de finos materiales como troquelados, pisos PVC, papel tapiz que harán de tu espacio un ambiente ideal. En términos de acabados, estilo y creatividad, somos tus mejores aliados. Ecology by J. Cabrera. Nuevos elementos para nuevas ideas.
La degradación del mundo natural ya está socavando el bienestar de 3.200 millones de personas, o lo que es lo mismo, el 40% de la humanidad. Por suerte, el planeta es resiliente, pero necesita nuestra ayuda. Todavía estamos a tiempo de revertir los daños que hemos causado. Siembra, limpia, recicla, protege el medio ambiente y preserva tu ecosistema. Un mensaje de La Joya Collection.
Bueno, señores, espero que hayan disfrutado el programa de hoy. A mí me pareció muy interesante y creo que es una modalidad que podría tomar, ya que nuestro programa es turístico, y es tomar la experiencia de muchos de esos extranjeros que han venido y han formado su hogar aquí en la zona norte. Y no tanto eso, sino que inciden en la vida diaria de nuestro destino. Y eso es lo que pasa con Christine Maclean, quien es una persona muy conocida aquí y quien trabaja con extranjeros directamente. Así que yo creo que sí, que es una modalidad que podemos tomar y presentar a todos ustedes la experiencia de esos extranjeros aquí en República Dominicana. Recuerden seguirnos a través de las redes sociales, porque ustedes, por su fidelidad, son premiados. Recientemente estuvimos premiando a uno de nuestros seguidores con una cena para 2 personas en el restaurante Waterfront en Sosúa, uno de los restaurantes más espectaculares de la zona, con una vista que ustedes no se imaginan. Entren a las redes sociales y mírenlo. Así que síganos a través de las redes y suscríbanse a nuestro canal de YouTube, y por ahí pueden conocer todo el contenido que nosotros preparamos para ustedes y que hemos colgado en las redes sociales. Gracias por su sintonía y nos vemos en una próxima.